Welcome back to State of the Union. I'm Jake Tapper. The leader of ISIS is dead after a raid led by U.S. Special Forces in Syria overnight. President Trump just hailed the death of Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi in remarks at the White House, saying Baghdadi died, quote, whimpering and crying and screaming all the way. Ahead of the president's remarks, I spoke with the Secretary of Defense, Mark Esper, about the raid. Let's start with the president's announcement. What can you tell us about the raid? Was this an operation conducted specifically to target Baghdadi?
Sure. Well, let me say, first of all, this is a great day for America. This is a great day for the world. The president made a very decisive action, and our troops and our interagency partners executed it brilliantly. So, as you know, we defeated the physical caliphate earlier this year, and now the leader is dead. And so, again, that's great news, and I want to commend all that participated in the operation. I will tell you this, that the operation was conducted last night. The president approved a raid onto the target. The aim was to capture Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, and if we couldn't capture him, then of course we were going to kill him. And like I said, the raid was successful. We pulled our troops out. We had two minor casualties, two minor injuries to our soldiers, but a very successful, flawless raid.
When you say minor injuries, they will recover from those injuries?
They've already been returned to duty.
Okay, that's great. So the president knew about the operation ahead of time. He approved the operation.
The president was taking options earlier this week. He reviewed them, asked some great questions. Chose the option that we thought gave us the highest probability of success and confirmation that the head of ISIS would be there and either captured or killed, and then we executed from there.
Was there a lot of deliberation?
Yes, I think in all these things there's deliberation. The president had the opportunity to hear and speak with the commander of Central Command. He had a chance to hear from me. He had a chance to talk with General Milley, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. And again, that decision was made late last week.
Could this operation have been done without U.S. troops on the ground in Syria already?
That's speculative. I don't know. I'd have to consult with our commanders about that. You know, we have tremendous reach and capability. The people, the service members who executed this attack are the best in the world, and there's nothing beyond our capability.
Can you tell us which branch of the special operations they came from?
It's a joint force, which means it's multiple components. And again, we work closely with our interagency partners on this as well. It's a big team effort. They're very good at this. Nobody is better. And as I like to say, they take the complex and dangerous and make it look simple and safe.
So CNN's reporting that it appears Baghdadi detonated a suicide vest during the raid. Did that happen? And did he take his own life?
Yeah, that's the report we have on the ground from the commander, that we tried to call him out and ask him to surrender himself. He refused. He went down into a subterranean area. And in the process of trying to get him out, he detonated a suicide vest, we believe, and killed himself.
It's surprising that he was in this town. This is not known as a hotbed of ISIS. It's more friendly to al-Qaeda, which is an enemy of ISIS in some ways. Were you surprised that he was there?
Well, again, we, as a joint team, the military with the intelligence folks, we work these issues very closely. We shouldn't be surprised after what we saw where bin Laden was hiding. That they choose locations. They've learned a lot about how we and others conduct intelligence. So this is a difficult task. It's very complex, and I give great credit to, again, the military, our interagency partners, the intelligence community, everybody that worked on this, and for the president for making this decisive decision to execute this raid.
Did the U.S. have any idea of his location before this last week?
Yeah, again, I'm not going to comment on those types of matters.
He was killed in this region that borders Turkey. Were there concerns that he was going to try to go into Turkey to escape?
Well, there's concerns always when you have a target like this that it's fleeting. And that's why I think as the stars aligned over the past week, the decision was made to go after him.
The town where he was, as I said, it's more friendly to al-Qaeda than it is to ISIS. Are there concerns that ISIS might have some sort of alliance with al-Qaeda in that area?
Yeah, I don't think we're prepared, at least I'm not prepared to speculate or make those types of judgments right now. The important thing is to celebrate the fact that the founder of ISIS, is dead. We got him. It signifies our commitment to the enduring defeat of ISIS.
I'm not trying to take away from the celebration. I agree it's a great achievement. I'm just trying to find out as much information as possible. There are Russian forces also operating in this area of Syria. Should we assume that the U.S. deconflicted with Russia? In other words, told the Russians, we're going to be here just so that there wasn't any misunderstanding, miscommunication, or kinetic action between the two, between the U.S. and Russia?
I'll just say broadly that we have communications with the Russians. We deconflict all types of things. And I'll just leave it at that.
And what does this mean for the troops that have been sent into the region to help protect the troops that are helping to protect the oil fields in Syria?
Well, the two are separate but related. Related in the sense that both signify, again, our commitment to the enduring defeat of ISIS. The troops now that are denying ISIS access to those oil fields, they're doing so because we want to make sure that ISIS cannot generate the revenue that would allow them to buy weapons, that would allow them to attack our partners and allies in Europe or come back to the homeland. And that's our commitment, and that's why we are reinforcing some of our positions in the southern part of northern Syria.
Did the withdrawal of U.S. forces from the Turkish-Syria border accelerate the timetable on this mission in any way?
No, I don't think so. Look, the withdrawal was prompted by the fact that President Erdogan of Turkey made a decision that he was going to attack regardless and seize a safe zone, if you will, between Turkey and Syria. And we were opposed to that vehemently and protested as much. And our concern was that Turkey's actions, as unwarranted as they were, would cause us, them, others to lose focus on the defeat ISIS mission. That's the reason why we went in. And that's the reason why we're still there. And last week I spent in the region talking to many of our allies, and I spent time in Brussels with our NATO allies and reiterated to them that our commitment to the enduring defeat of ISIS.
And obviously this is a huge blow to ISIS to have their leader, al-Baghdadi, killed. Is there now concern that ISIS might lash out, that they might try to stage some sort of terrorist attack as a way of showing to the world, hey, we're still here?
Well, you prepare for everything, but you're right. This is a devastating blow. This is not just their leader, it's their founder. He was an inspirational leader in many ways. He's the one when he formed ISIS in 2014, he led to establishing the physical caliphate throughout the region. So this is a major blow to them. And we're going to watch carefully next steps. And as a new leader and leaders pop up, we'll go after them as well.
As you noted, the physical caliphate has largely disappeared as the U.S. and the Kurds have beaten it back. But obviously, there's still thousands, if not tens of thousands, of ISIS terrorists that remain. What is the status of ISIS right now?
You know, like as we've been saying for some time now, we want to ensure the enduring defeat. That means we have to continually monitor the situation, make sure as we see groups pop up or coalesce or establish a training camp that we go in and take them out. That's the way to ensure that they're no longer a threat to the United States and to our allies and partners.
Well, the president has said they're defeated, but they're not fully defeated.
Well, it's a physical caliphate, and defeat, you know, it's hard to defeat an ideology. So what we're going to have to do is stay on top of this. We're going to have to make sure we have the capability to go in and, again, destroy targets as they arise.
When are all U.S. troops going to leave Syria, as President Trump has said he wants to do, but obviously a lot of military officials have said they do not want to do. They think it would be a mistake. Well,
President Trump's directive was that we'd leave northern Syria, northeastern Syria, that part specifically where the safe zone is being set up by the Turks. We're halfway through that process, if you will. It will take weeks, not days. But at the same time, the president said we would keep a presence in southern Syria at Tanth. And recently, we got the direction that we would maintain a presence in the area of Dar al-Zawa in order, again, to deny ISIS and other destabilizing actors down there access to the oil fields.
One other thing I want to ask is I want to follow up on something you said that you've said before, which is that President Erdogan of Turkey had said that he was going to go into this area, and that's why the U.S. pulled out, even though you and others had vehemently opposed him doing that. It just seems odd that a NATO ally and a weaker country, although Turkey obviously has a very large military, would be able to, for want of a better term, push the U.S. around. I mean, push us out of the region. I would think that the U.S. would say, we're staying, and I know you don't want to attack U.S. forces. How do you make the argument that this wasn't the U.S. retreating?
Yeah, I think that's an overstatement. I mean, we've known since the original partnership between the United States and SDF that Turkey protested.
The Kurds.
That's right. That Turkey protested this. They view that many in the SDF are terrorists that are members of the PKK. And they also had 2 or 3 incursions over the past 2 or 3 years. So as I came into office about 3 months ago, this is probably the top foreign policy issue that was on my plate, constantly working with the Turks to establish a safe zone, to address their legitimate security needs, and to try and walk them back from conducting this incursion. But, you know, due to domestic politics, security concerns, any number of factors, it became very clear to me and other members of the national security team that the Turks were going to do this regardless. And I thought it would have been irresponsible, as did the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, to leave our soldiers, numbering less than 50, in between a Turkish army of 15,000 plus and their route of attack.
One last thing, sir, and that is you've talked about the credit that should go to the military operators, the special operators who conducted this raid, and thankfully There were no serious injuries. And obviously, it was a successful raid. You've also given credit to President Trump for his decisive decision, decisive action on making this. I just want to show you this tweet from 2012. You had nothing to do with this tweet, just for the record, but President Trump, when he was Citizen Trump, said, "Stop congratulating Obama for killing bin Laden. The Navy SEALs killed bin Laden." So I guess just the question I have is, do commanders-in-chief deserve credit for the actions of our brave men and women in service, in uniform?
Look, I'm not going to get involved in the political issues here. Clearly, the credit first and foremost goes to our service members and to the interagency partners that helped execute this. And in this case, again, the president made a tough decision and gave the order to go. And at the end of the day, he bears responsibility for its success or failure, as do I, as does the entire chain of command.
I would agree with that, and I would agree that that also held true in 2012. Secretary Esper, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it. Don't be a stranger.
Will do.